This is one of my YouTube channels, and these stories, they could be rather sensitive that I report on from the mainstream media. If you didn't know by now, not only I report these stories, but this is a decode channel. And now I'm going to show you some facts. It's a gift and a curse that I have to be able to see these patterns and expose this code using the language with the numerical values attached as well. Also showing other connections with the language that are very interesting. It's that time of year out here in Arizona. I'm in Mesa, Arizona. Where y'all at? Just off the top of the dome, Chandler, about 15-20 minute drive roughly. I'm out here in East Mesa, depending on what route you take. It's that time of year with the temperature heating up. We obviously get the patterns that hit about the same time every year with these drownings, and we'll see it on the news. Watch your children around water. Here's a story here. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. It's just how does it hit with the certain connections that make you scratch your head like, wow. So I exposed the language, the number system that were used, right? We're born into this world, okay? And it's like, here, speak this language. Here we have 26 letters in the alphabet. This is A to Z decodes, by the way. A, the first letter of the alphabet, Z, the 26. Arizona, A to Z decodes. But we'll get into it here. It's a TikTok influencer. We've been getting a lot of these deaths related with TikTok lately. And unfortunately, with this story, influencer Emilie Kiser's 3-year-old son dies from injuries after pool incident. Trigg Kaiser died Sunday after he was hospitalized following a May 12th incident, authorities said. Okay? So, as I record this right now, we're on Wednesday the 21st. So, Tuesday the 20th, Monday the 19th, Sunday the 18th. So they're saying died Sunday the 18th after he was hospitalized following a May 12th incident. Okay? And May 12th, as I look here, was 2 Mondays ago. So the incident on May 12th, and they say passes 6 days later on the 18th, from what I gather here, okay? The 3-year-old son of influencer Emilie Kiser died Sunday in the hospital after the May 12th incident in a backyard pool. Police in Arizona said. Chandler police said Trigg Kaiser died after he was hospitalized for several days. Authorities responded to a drowning call in Chandler around 20 miles southeast of Phoenix. Notice how the article updated on the 20th. 20 miles southeast of Phoenix, where they found the 3-year-old unconscious and being pulled out of a pool. Something I just caught, and I forgot to add the slide, is notice Chandler, right? Chandler, Arizona. Chandler police said Trigg Kaiser died after he was hospitalized, and this is a drowning incident with the pool. I told you I'm showing you these patterns. Remember Chandler from Friends had like a drowning in like a hot tub, right? You see? These are the patterns that I'm talking about. And now and then they bring up drug related death of Matthew Perry, 5 people charged, right? But Matthew Perry was already dead when assistant found him underwater in hot tub, new details, and all of that. You see, and they say he was already dead, but found him underwater. And this is Matthew Perry, who played Chandler being on Friends. So this is one of the patterns, and one of the, like, it's like a non-coincidence with me. And look, you get all of these, look at all of these images of him as well, taking baths or whatever on the show. You see that? And I think in the opening of this show, Friends, he was in water, like kind of spitting water out of his mouth. You see that right there? Okay. So this is Chandler, Arizona, and then you get Chandler being who they found underwater. And now we get this story in Chandler with the 3-year-old of this TikTok influencer, obviously drowning underwater. So you see that? And you know what? Now that I thought this, and these things I'm telling you right now are kind of on the fly. This is influencer Emilie Kiser. If I'm not mistaken, Ross on the show Friends, didn't he get the new girlfriend Emily from like the United Kingdom or whatever? You see how this works? So it leads me to believe that there's something like sinister going on here, if that's the right word. Emily Waltham. And Ross was like a best friend of Chandler growing up. You see this right here? Isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? And that's on the fly right there. Anybody who's watched Friends, you see how this works? Emily, obviously, it's spelt a little differently. And Ross was played by David Schwimmer, like water. His name was Ross Geller in the show, played by David Schwimmer, like water. You see how that works? You see how that works? Wow. And I just caught another amazing connection. Look at David Schwimmer, who was Ross, Chandler's friend on the show. Look at his birthday. The 11th month and the second day. That's 112. Now I have to fast forward and show you another slide that I have towards the end here. Look at this. 112. Drowning 112. Brady Kaiser, 112 in the language. That's Emily's husband. You see that right there? And David Schwimmer's got the 112 birthday. This is in Chandler, Arizona. Jeez. Matthew Perry, Chandler, Friends. This TikToker, this is her husband, Brady. And is Brady like a UK or a British name? Because then that's going to connect with Emily with Friends. And I'm not even trying to go all deep on this. You know what I'm saying? This is wild. I don't know how to ask this. A UK name? Recognized in both the United States and the UK. So, with all of that being said, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I'll try to get to these connections. We're going to play this video. Maybe we come back to that. And don't forget Whitney Houston, they found dead in like a hot tub, right? Well, they're saying coronary artery disease. Look, accidental drowning. You see that right there? And in the language, Houston equals 112 as well. So you see that? Okay, I mean, you you tell me a better decode out there. You know, and I hate to be like that, but I'm amazed. Okay, Emilie Kiser, age 26, nearly 3.4 million TikTok followers. How did this happen? Is this just comes with gaining any kind of fame, and then there's some kind of entity, some kind of powers to be that make this happen? It's wild, isn't it? Gained popularity for her mom and wife lifestyle content. She and her husband Brady Kaiser recently welcomed their second child, Theodore, in March. Trigg Kaiser, ABC 123 cipher, right? Equals 123. You see that? 123. The incident 12 weeks, 3 days after Arizona's birthday. 123, and that's Valentine's Day. This is what I'm telling you with these patterns and these connections. Former UFC MMA fighter, I don't think he fights anymore. I remember him growing up, Frank Trigg. Notice his birthday is May 7th. You get the Trigg name. This 3-year-old's name is Trigg Kaiser. So you get Trigg and Trigg. Frank Trigg, MMA fighter. His birthday, May 7th. 5 days before this incident with this drowning. And remember, Trigg Kaiser passes 6 days later. So Trigg Kaiser has this incident in the backyard pool May 12th, 5 days after Frank Trigg's birthday. How is this happening? Trigg Kaiser in the reverse cipher, Z would be 1, A would be 26. You get 147. He would have celebrated his 4th birthday on 147, the 14th day of the 7th month. I want you to notice these other connections here by the numbers: Drown, Trigg, and the mother is Emilie Kiser. Notice how Drown equals 61 in reverse. Arizona's last birthday, 61 date numerology. Trigg equals 61, her son. Emilie Kiser equals 61. You also get 16 date numerology with Arizona's last birthday. Add up the single digits. Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day is 2/14, February 14. 2 plus 14 is 16. Look at how drowned equals 106 in the reverse cipher. You get that 1 and you get that 6. Okay, remember we connected Matthew Perry, Friends, found dead underwater, Chandler Bing. Now we get this Chandler story. Look at Drowned has 38 like Chandler in the same cipher. You also get that reverse 83 in ordinal. Look at the 34 in reverse reduction with Drowned. In reverse, that would be 43, right? 34, the reflection of 43. Chandler's got the 43. Notice how I circled drowned 34. Remember the mother Emilie, 3.4 million TikTok followers. And again, gained popularity for her mom and wife lifestyle content. She and her husband Brady Kaiser recently welcomed their second child, Theodore, in March with the 3.4. This is what I'm talking about with the language and this code. It wouldn't be a shock that drowning has 50 in this code like pool. Goes hand in hand, right? 50 is like 5. Okay, you see the 5 right there? This drowning and this passing in the 5th month, May. As we're going to get a lot of these stories now in Arizona. This is a 3-year-old that passes from injuries after a pool incident. Remember, their second child born, you see on the left there, in March, the 3rd month. March has M like May, M, 3-year-old Trigg Kaiser, RIP. Okay? RIP on Sunday, the 18th. Sunday equals 33, like the 3rd month, March, with the second child born. Like Trigg Kaiser, again, RIP at age 3. We already hit on this earlier with the Chandler Bing Matthew Perry connection. And remember Houston 112 with that accidental drowning, they say. Whitney. Even Kaiser, in the reduction cipher, you get 26. Emilie Kiser, a 26-year-old influencer. This incident was on a 26 date numerology, May 12th. You also get 62. Kaiser equals 62 as well as 26 with the 26-year-old.
A TikTok influencer is reportedly mourning the loss of her 3-year-old son, a week after the child fell into the family's pool.
What is that? Eye drops. I like that eye drops.
Emilie Kiser shares her day-to-day life with her 3.4.
I'm saying Kisser. It looks like Kaiser. It looks like Kaiser to me. But if I did, it's possible I misspoke. If it is Kisser, my apologies.
4 million followers on the platform. Her posts include her husband and 2 sons, Trigg and Teddy.
Eye patches. Mommy's eyes. They kind of match your jammies.
Reports from Chandler, Arizona, where they live, say emergency services were called to her house on a Monday evening when little Trigg was found unresponsive in the pool. He was rushed to a local children's hospital, where he stayed until the following Sunday when he reportedly passed away from his injuries. Kiser and her husband Brady had welcomed a second son in March. Videos of her account show the family enjoying.
That's interesting that the husband's name is Brady. Makes you think of Tom Brady. And Theodore T, the newborn on the right, born in March. And Trigg T, the 3-year-old that passes. Dad Brady, like Tom Brady T. There's probably more connections there if I were to go deeper on that. Because remember, this is all with the language. And this isn't just these influencers and celebrities. This goes deep. Notice how this video clip is 1 minute 12 seconds long. If you can see down on the bottom. See that? Remember, drowning 112. And was it Brady 112? The husband? I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. And remember David Schwimmer with the 112 birthday, 11/2, November 2nd. Hopefully you can hear this so I don't have to edit it out and you just missed those add-ons there.
Time together. Now they are in mourning for their first child. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano.
Oh, wow.
A TikTok influencer is
How? Is this just pumped out of some computer and somebody's making it happen? Is it not happening and they're just giving us the story and these characters are just like playing the acting role? TikTok does have that 86 like to get rid of. Wow. A sad and amazing story. Let me scroll down. The art you know what? That the child actually passed on May 18th. So let's look at that. The incident was on May 12th. And passed on May 18th, Sunday, 6 days later, or a 7-day span. Scrolling down. Passes on 5/18, May 18. 5 plus 18 is 23. TikTok equals 23 in the language. TikTok also equals 86. Trigg passes on 68 date numerology, the 86 reflection. You also get 23 right there with that date numerology on the passing. Look, you get the 32, which is reversed, 23 reversed, and Arizona's birthday left 320 days in the year, like 32. You see that right there? See that? Wow, right? Jeez. I mean, this is wild, isn't it? Okay, so let's see what if they give us anything else in this article or if they're just leaving it at that. Is this the cost of fame? It doesn't mean that now they're not is the family, do they face any consequences as a result? They're just saying drowning is the leading cause of death among children 1 to 4. But the investigation into the circumstances surrounding this incident remain ongoing. This is still an open investigation out of respect for the family's privacy. We will not be releasing additional details until the investigation is closed. Kaiser has not yet released a statement about her son's death. And that's what they give us. So you tell me, Arizona. Again, I'm out here in Mesa. I don't get off on having to report this, but there's something going on here with the Chandler connection. You know, Chandler being Matthew Perry. Very eerie, and my name happens to be Matthew. That Frank Trigg connection, birthday 5 days before this incident. The 3-year-old's name is Trigg. The Whitney Houston connection. Another death surrounding a TikTok influencer. According to the story, you know, welcome to the world stage. This is A to Z Decodes, Arizona. Where y'all at? So, according to the story, RIP to Trigg Kaiser. There's always more, but I'll leave it at that. Until next time.